So you're a new player in Dragon Ball The Breakers, whether you're just joining at the end of Season 2 or maybe you're watching this video at the start of Season 3. The goal of this video is to make sure you have fun with the game so you don't leave like earlier players did, whether they got crushed by the Raider, they were getting crushed by survivors, or they just listened to the bigger YouTubers that said, game bad. Don't buy. My job here is to help pass down the knowledge of what I've gained through somewhat of a long time playing this game, so that new players don't get overwhelmed with all the abilities and the gacha system and not knowing what to spend their money and zenny and spirit on and such. I'm just here to make sure that you are not overwhelmed and that you can have fun with this game. So without further ado, here we go. So to make sure exactly what new players were getting themselves into, I started a new account on PS5. I bought the game again. I'm usually a PC player. I wanted to see what they give you at the start, transfer-wise, skill-wise, super attack-wise, and honestly, they are very generous. You start off with 3 very basic transfers, which are Krillin, Piccolo, and Goku, and right off the bat, Krillin already has one of the best supers that you can do in the meta right now, which is Volley. Now, you could put Krillin on all 3 of your slots, but there is something you should do before you do anything, and that is go over to this robot right here and collect the rewards they gave you for just buying the game. They give you a lot of stuff, especially you get 30 tickets, which means you get 2 multi-rolls, and you can do 5 single rolls on the Spirit Siphon banner, 5 singles on just a standard banner. So before you even enter your first game, you have a chance at getting lucky with the gacha. Now, of course, it is a gacha system. There are supers that are better than other supers. There are skills that are better than other skills. But if you see a character you like and you just want to play them, go ahead and roll on that banner. Do not worry about anything else. So I just decided to roll on the standard Season 2 banner, which is the Spirit Siphon banner. And as you can see, we're going to get quite a few characters in here. And I can assure you, we actually got some of the best characters and supers right off the bat, right? There are obviously better characters with better supers, but we got some very decent ones that still hold up strong in today's meta. We're gonna roll one more time because I still have 15 tickets from just the free rewards they gave me. So we're gonna do one more multi, and guess what? As we are rolling, we got extremely lucky. We did get 1 5-star. As you can see, when it comes down, if you see no golds, that's okay. You have a chance of it turning to gold, as you saw just right there. And if they are all blue, you do have a chance just to get a Shenron. A Shenron would appear probably like right about here. When Shenron appears, that just means all your blues, you'll at least have 1 gold in your draw, which is great. It's just kind of like its own little pity system, but it doesn't come up too often. Now, as you can see, I still have 5 tickets for Season 2 and 5 tickets for the Spirit Siphon. You want to generally save these. You never really want to roll singles. You always want to try and go for the multis because most of the time, these banners have what's called a guaranteed drop, so you'll at least get one of these guaranteed in the roll as long as you do a multi-roll. You never really want to do singles, but you can get lucky, but it's not really worth it. Before we enter our first game though, you want to come right over here. It's right to the left of the gacha. This is the training center. You want to go make your way to skills before you spend any of your spirit, and if you don't know, spirit is the currency that you get from duplicates in the gacha. You see in the top right there, I had 3,200 spirit. Every time I get a duplicate in the gacha, I believe it's like 900 plus, so the more you roll, the more spirit you'll have. Now, before you spend your spirit, let me tell you guys something that's very important. Active skills and passive skills are sometimes locked, and not sometimes, always locked behind a certain character. So for example here, we have Flying Nimbus. Teen Gohan is the only person that has this. So if we go to our build here, if we don't want to play Teen Gohan, let's say we want to switch him for Goku, they will remove Flying Nimbus from my build because Teen Gohan's the only one that can use it. Now, if you don't want to always have Teen Gohan on your team, this is how you stop this. You go over to skills right here, we go to active skills, and as you can see, Flying Nimbus is an active skill here. What we can do is we can upgrade this once. We spent spirit, we spent 100 spirit. Right now it's reducing the cooldown time. You can see that on the right side by 0.25 seconds every time we upgrade it. But the goal here is to get this to 10. You see the +1? We need to get it to 10. As soon as you get it to 10, you do not need Teen Gohan in your Survivor build anymore. You can freely use whoever you want, and you can still have Flying Nimbus available to you. Now, sometimes the game implements Survivor skins. So as you can see right here, we have our main Survivor. We have Bulma and Oolong. Now, sometimes they have their own individual skills. So Bulma has her bike, and Oolong has camouflage and change into missile. And missile is one of the best active skills you can do right now. Bulma also has charming pose. So if we want to get those or use those, we actually have to switch our survivor skin. Now I can use Bulma's active skills, or if I want to play as Oolong, now I can play Oolong's active skills. Now, of course, to counteract this, you do the same thing. You can upgrade this to 10, or you can just play as a survivor skin. Now, remember, it takes 5,500 spirit to fully upgrade one of these abilities to plus 10. I do not recommend, this is for new players and veteran players, I don't necessarily recommend ever upgrading active skills to plus 20. For the most part, they're always cooldown reduction, which is okay. You can save yourself a couple seconds, but most of the time you want to go with your favorite passive skill. Get that to plus 20 because they are percentage bonuses, which overall help way better than sometimes shaving off 2 seconds of your active skill. Now, this is optional. If you want to come over to the shop here, this is where you can buy most of your clothes to be dripped out. You can also buy, they have nice little bundle deals here. The TP is money. You can buy voice lines for all your raiders, or you can just buy a straight up raider. They start you off, they give you 300 free TP, but as long as you play the game, there is a free battle pass in this game that you will gradually gain TP from. You should be able to buy the next raider. So I can see there's a bunch of 50s, and this is a completely free battle pass. That's all you need to do. But what I'd recommend, because they give you 20,000 free Zenny, is to come here, go to the shop right here, the second to the last bottom, and buy the zipline and trap device. All of these, the rest of them are just really not great. No need to waste Zenny. This is a personal choice. You can buy these two. I'd recommend them, but you could just save your Zenny for rolls if you want, if you're starting out. This is the build we are going into with our very first game. We got Teen Gohan, so we can use Flying Nimbus. It is a great active skill. Of course, we did not get any supers for him, but we are not trying to stay at level 1 for too long. By the way, I am not teaching you how to play the game. I will just give general tips. So if you don't know actually how to play the game, I recommend doing the prologue in episode 1 or 2, whatever that is, because that is the actual tutorial for the game. We got Krillin in slot 2 with, of course, Volley. Volley is just better for me than Kamehameha, but of course pick whoever you want. In Cell, we got Cell, which was very lucky because Special Beam Cannon is one of the best supers. It's very good. The tracking on it can be messed up sometimes, but other than that, it is a great damaging super. It's incredibly spammable, it's super fast, and it's just great overall. These are the active skills we're taking into. You get Grapple device by itself. You don't have to roll for it or buy it. You get it. Floating device as well. Don't roll, don't buy it. It's a great tool. These two are definitely, I think Grapple device, since it got nerfed, is like A tier for me. Floating device is an S tier ability for me now. Trap device we bought. We're going to use it because it does give us a stun because we're not using Charming Pose from Bulma. And we got Flying Nimbus. These are the passive skills that we're just able to use. This is from Krillin. This makes our Flying Nimbus a little bit faster. Key tracking, I really don't know what it does. We can see the Raider a little longer. I'm assuming the little red icon that we get when we see the Raider. And emergency transformation, this is just if you get hit, you just transform no matter what. Obviously, we are lacking in passive skills. We need to roll a little bit more. But of course, if I wanted to, I could go Piccolo here. And I could get maybe what people say a better passive would be, which is barrier auto recovery. This just is when you get hit and you don't have a barrier item, over time you'll just regenerate health. So that's what that is. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our first game. Like I said before, I am not going to teach you how to play the game. I'm just here to give you some tips so you don't keep getting caught by the Raider or you're getting frustrated, you keep losing, right? I want you guys to play the game and have fun. I want you to stay on this game because it is a great game. It's very fun. We got a great community as well. So I want you here. So first tip, I'm going to tell you guys, do not follow other survivors at the start of the game. You guys are not going to want to share supplies. You want your own supplies. All right, there are kind of some basic survivor rules here that if someone enters a cave first or a house, that is their cave, that is their house. You do not share it, all right? You want to get your own supplies. You want to evenly split out the supplies, all right? For you new players, if you do happen to get a radar, whether that's keys, civilians, or Dragon Balls, you want to make that somewhat of your top priority because getting the Dragon Balls together can definitely help the survivors. You want to summon Shenron. You want to at least have that threat to the raider available. So if you do get a dragon radar, try and make that somewhat of your top priority, as well as the civilian radar, which is a little underrated in my opinion because a lot of raiders need the civs. So please, if you have a civilian radar, don't go crazy out of your way like across the map to save civs, but always try and keep an eye out for it. Rescue civs when you can. It can definitely hurt the raider. Key radars, very important as well. Honestly, me personally, I'll drop everything I'm doing, go for the keys because keys are just so great. They also scare the raider. It's a very big threat because you're moving really, really fast. So that's just personal preference. But of course, when you get a radar, you kind of want to make it your top priority. Another huge tip of advice, please destroy everything with your square button, mouse click, whatever it is. Destroy everything when you enter an area. You have a great chance of getting some great power cubes, some items, whatever, radars. Please just try your best to destroy everything around. You get some stuff. It's great. Try not to leave anything unbroken. Now right here, you're gonna see the raider find me, and now what you really want to do is not try and fight the raider as a new player. You're new, you want to just try and escape. When you're a little better at the game, you can try and get some damage down and then get away. That's what most of us do, but please never fight the raider on your own. You should always go for the 2v1 or 3v1. Now, of course, I'm fighting him because I know I'm going to be able to escape, but this is a good showcase on how, if you do have to end up at least brawling with the raider a little bit, how you can escape. You have grapple device or maybe change missile. You can use it to get escape, and then maybe if you have another stun or another escape tool, because sometimes grapple and missile isn't enough, you can use that and run away like I did here. This is another great example of something that happened in this game. New players, if you have a Senzu Bean, what that does is when you go down before the raider finishes you, you can use it and get up. However, you do not want to use it when you have no help available, or if the raider is literally right in front of you. You will go down, I promise you, and then you will be finished off, and you'll just be out of the game. No chance of revival, no nothing. If you do this on purpose, you're pretty much a feeder. You're just trying to get a raider game faster. So new players, if you are trying to win as survivor, do not use a Senzu Bean right in front of you. The best thing you can do, and I'm still trying to work on this, is if you do have a Senzu Bean on you and you know you're gonna die or you feel like you can't escape, throw it on the ground. Try your best to ping the item so your teammates know it's there. And that way, when the raider finishes you, teammates can come see the Senzu Bean and use it on you so you can get up faster. So another general rule of playing Survivor is when the Dragon Balls have a chance of coming together, survivors will drop it, give it to one person, they will summon Shenron, hopefully in a safe place. So first tip, you want to summon Shenron at a shrine furthest away from the raider. When you get into a higher level play, you can summon it in the very middle zone, which is the X zone. The raider cannot destroy that area. That's usually how they stop the Shenron summonings. But for now, as a new player, you just want to summon it furthest away from the raider. Now, I do not currently do this here because I'm pretty confident. But I also broke a survivor rule here. The person with the most Dragon Balls, when they are asking for the Dragon Balls, gets the balls. So the person with the least amount of balls drops them. The person with the most gets to have them. Now, of course, the person here that had 3 drops them, so I pick them up. And me and this guy have a little stare down. He has 2. I have 5. He needs to drop it. Now, of course, if you don't feel comfortable with the Dragon Balls, drop it. Some people are too stubborn at all. They'll have 1 Dragon Ball. You'll have 6. They won't drop it. You know, that happens sometimes, but it's less and less frequent. Now, new players, I can't express this enough. If you do happen to get Shenron, which is great, we want you to learn how to use the level 4, but please do not just go all in and fight the raider, okay? You want to keep your distance. You want to kind of key blast spam him to negate his key blast spam, and you want to stay at a somewhat a far away distance that you can use supers to see if you can hit them, while your other teammates go at them and throw melee's attacks so they can lock them down so you can land a super. Please do not just go all in and try and fight solo, okay? It is a team game. Your main job, think of it this way, is to just distract the raider. Now, as you can see right here, I don't go for the raider at all. I personally like to fight with the time machine up. So I have the key radar right now. I'm flying around. I'm trying to find the keys for my team so we can put them in. So while we're fighting the cell, we at least have a backup option in case I fail at Shenron or we fail in killing him. Now, of course, the cell catches me and I have to kind of, you know, weave my way around. I don't necessarily want to fight him solo. I know I can do a little bit of damage on him. I'm trying to make him run into the trap so I can get a free special beam cannon. But for the most part, I'm just looping around the terrain so he can't just hit me with key blast or anything like this. I grapple away to try and find the key because, like I said, I want to fight with the key radar. And another good tip, guys, and you see me do this in this game a lot, throw the jump pad if you are running the flotation device. I call it jump pad, sorry. While you have D-change, press the jump button on it. You should go into the jumping animation, and you get so much more speed and so much more control. It's great. So we do get into a brawl with the cell here, as you can see. So I am fighting. I have a couple teammates with me. I'm using my supers. I'm keeping my distance. I'm also somewhat waiting to use my super while a teammate is meleeing them. I'll sometimes throw one to see if I can land one, but for the most part, I generally wait. Another little quick tip while you're actually fighting, if the raider ever stops and they pause after, you see them flying around spamming key blasts and they're looking at you, if they stop, they're generally about to use a super or they're like charging their super. So just get ready to vanish because for the most part, that's how you kind of see that they're using a super because it's a little bit hard to see in this game sometimes. Now this might be a little bit of a hot take, but this gacha system I actually like. It is one of the only gachas I've played that doesn't limit your amount of playtime for what you can earn to roll, right? So we can constantly earn zenny by just playing the game, and we can roll when we get enough zenny. So please do not feel like you need to spend money. You don't need the best abilities in the game, because as you can see, we just rolled a 5-star, which Nimbus is actually quite a good ability. And we won with very little to no amount of, rolls, right? We got what we got, we played with what we had, and we won. Now, of course, I know what I'm doing, right? With new players, it's a huge learning curve for this game as a survivor when you're playing the survivor role. So please be patient. If the raider camps you, if the raider just feels like they're always getting you, just watch videos of the game, learn from people around you. It takes a little bit to get used to. Even now, I'm making stupid mistakes myself. It took me a while to actually get good at this game. It's a learning curve. You just gotta be patient because it is a very fun game. Now I could go on and on about different tips and different tricks you can do as survivors for new players and veteran players, but maybe I'll make a video down the line saying, hey, here's 10 more tips you can use as survivor. But for new players, I need you to understand this next big mechanic, which is the time machine. This is a huge one because this is the main way you are going to win your games. Now, as you can see in this clip, we get the time machine started. Our Shenron actually was fighting the raider alone, which is something you generally don't want to do, but they did give us the chance to put in both keys roughly at the same time, start the time machine, and basically begin what our next step is going to be. Now, of course, in this next little thing right here, you'll see I do stop him from trying to get perfect cell because he was one away. I do get the person up. It was a very good play on my part. But the important thing to notice during all this time is right now I am distracting the raider and I have 1 or 2 teammates on the time machine right now. If you are not doing anything, if you are not distracting the raider, if you didn't have a Shenron yet and you need to look for the Dragon Balls, if you're not looking for the Dragon Balls, you need to be on the time machine getting that thing to go faster, okay? I don't care if you're halfway to level 3, maybe you have 4 more cubes, running around aimlessly looking for a level 3 or maybe looking for a barrier. Maybe it depends on the circumstances. You need to be on the time machine if the raider is distracted. Even getting the littlest bit of more percentage for that thing to go faster is so helpful. So as you can see, I was distracting the raider, and I think I eventually go help with the time machine. And as you can see, just watching this clip, you'll just see that we have 4 or 5 people on this time machine. We're doing it at 100%. Cell's busy with the other survivors, right? We're getting the time machine going. And again, we lost our Shenron, right? Some people just give up after their Shenron just dies, right? Now we have one person distracting them. It's great. We each took turns turning into our D change and distracting the raider. Now the supplies are dropping. This is where some people probably start to throw. We see that our friend goes down here. He's probably gonna get perfect cell, but if you really just play smart, he's gonna get perfect cell. He's gonna go through the animation, which is even longer. If we stay on the time machine, we'll still get huge advantage for him just going through this animation. Now what we end up doing is having to stay. The other 3 go for supplies, which is actually very good as well. And they start to distract the raider, but Cell realizes he's kind of effed up. He's coming back to the time machine, and you'll see here that we just dance around it. I throw my trap down. Other people start to dechange as well. We get some walls being thrown in, but this is how you play around the time machine. You don't have everyone dechange and start rushing at the raider and trying to damage him just because he puts a little bit of damage on the time machine or he gets near you. What you really want to do is just distract him, right? One at a time or two at a time. Go distract the raider, even if he's on the time machine, right? If you can't get on the time machine yourself to get that thing going faster, just wait near it, right? There's a bunch of areas you can hide on every map near the time machine. You wait near it. Two at a time or one at a time, go distract the raider if he's trying to destroy it. You don't need to just go monkeying in, right, and go crazy. You gotta play smart, you gotta play safe, play patient. That's what my pretty much advice would be for playing the time machine. All right, guys, that's it. I don't want to pack too much into this video. The message here that I can tell you is this game has a huge learning curve, all right? So just be patient. Like I said, watch streams, watch videos, do whatever you need to do to learn a bit. You won't be the best right away. You'll die a lot. Don't worry, guys. It happens. And yes, there are some raiders that literally will sit at your body and ruin the experience for you, but you can't let that one raider out of a lot of players in the community, you know, change your view on this game. It is a very fun game. Just remember, be patient, look up guides, do anything. I'll even after this make a guide of active, passive skills and supers that you guys should be using, or at least in my personal opinion, you should be using. I also did ask my community to give advice to new players in a community post. That link will be posted in a pinned comment down below, so go check out that because there already is great advice that I've already said in this video, but I also haven't said in this video. So please check it out. It's also very simple. You'll understand them. You don't need to watch a 20-minute video. I tried to make this as best I could. I feel like it's not great. But I think maybe just a simpler video with like tips and tricks will do better. So I'll try that next time. I apologize if this wasn't even helpful, but I figured I could get it out there and hopefully help a few people. So with that said, guys, like the video if it helps you, subscribe if you want to see more Breakers content. I'll see you all later. Have a great day. Bye.